about to see this thing naked. There we go.
I have the 32nd one to ever come off the assembly line.
Maybe I'll be the Ashton Kutcher of RCs and try to prank an AutoZone. I'll show up there and I'll say, hey, I need a replacement drive shaft for whatever car I have.
I want to make a toast to my Primal MT. This goes out for you.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. This is part 4 of my Primal RC MT monster truck. I picked this up about a week ago. I have everything that it came with in 2 boxes on the table. Guys, this is a huge utility table. It is taking up the whole damn table. I mean, when your truck takes up the whole damn table, I think that means it's a good sign, right? The build itself is not that complicated. Yes, it looks like I have parts spread out all over this table, and that's because they're huge. But in reality, it's just attaching the front axles, which are already pretty much built. They are modular designs. All the steering components, the wiring is done in the truck. Just attaching the shocks themselves. The hardware is already on the chassis itself, plugging in the battery, doing your safety checks, and basically you're good to go. Obviously, we're gonna put in these drive shafts. We're gonna use the appropriate red or blue Loctite as required. Primal RC does have really good in-depth instructional videos on their YouTube page in case you want to check those out for some detailed building instructions. But if you've had any RC experience, pretty much you would know how this goes together. Attach the axles, attach the slider shafts, put some grease on them, right? Put some thread lock all around, do your safety checks, pull the easy start, and you're good to go. Before I continue with the build, let me just say while this truck is in its original as shipped condition, it was packaged impeccably well. Make sure to watch the unboxing of box 1 and box 2 in my prior video series. Primal went out of their way. Not only did they have really good exterior packaging, the thing arrived with 0 damage of any kind, but even the chassis components have zip ties throughout here where I can see that they are held together really, really well. So these large metal parts will not damage anything during the shipping. I mean, these are just so heavy. Maybe I'll be the Ashton Kutcher of RCs and try to prank an AutoZone. I'll show up there and I'll say, hey, I need a replacement drive shaft for whatever car I have. Or hey, I need a replacement CV axle for my Toyota 4x4 pickup.
Let's do a small parts overview as I have it here on the table. This is mostly everything that it came shipped with other than the stickers. Our electronic system, our really good Venom 5000 milliamp capacity battery, a pretty good LiPo compatible charger, obviously the enormous huge wheels, the shocks, the whole entire front axle as you see it right here. I have not done anything to it at all. We have our brake discs and calipers. They're already fully built. All you have to do is put in these included brake lines. Now these are brake lines from, like, I would say a high-end bicycle. Look how smooth the actual metal surfaces. So you can replace the outside liner in case there's any kind of fraying or, I guess you destroy this over the time of the truck. We have our axles right here, 2 of them. We have our massive sway bar links. These are going to be mounted on later on to these points right here. We have a spacer for eliminating the reverse inside the differential right here in case you ever want to get rid of it. I don't know why you would. We have optional gears for either torque or speed. Here we have some extra hardware for the brakes. There are some extra stop collars because this thing has such a powerful brake servo. We're going to look at it later, that this thing literally needs 2 collars on the brake line to make sure that nothing goes bad. While you're assembling this thing, it is to your benefit to remove the body. There are 10 body clips. There are 2 right over here on the inside under the chassis. There are 4 on the sides right over here. So 2 on this side, 2 on the other side, 2 in the front, and 2 right here on top of the roll cage in the back.
We've got 2 body clips here on top, guys. We're about to see this thing naked. There we go. Very easy. Just so easy to get this body out. This is my first time removing it. This is what it looks like on the inside. You have a full plastic roll cage. Your driver detail, of course, on the inside. Honestly, pretty lightweight design. What I want to say is there's so little flex in the body. There are so many different mounting points. You could see the screws going on top that the body literally is like an exoskeleton. If you thought the t-maxx was an exoskeleton, this thing is a completely different level type of design. I'm going to remove the zip ties to these giant links that we're going to prank AutoZone with later, right? These things are just so solid. They're not even that heavy.
These main shafts are aluminum. There's zero slop in these components. I literally cannot even jiggle it in and out anywhere. There's literally zero slop everywhere. The first step is to install the brake rotor onto the drive shaft and then install the drive shaft onto the rear axle. I'm going to be following the instructions right here. We are on step number 2, which says install the brake rotor on the drive shaft and install the drive shaft pin through the drive shaft and pinion gear shaft. Pretty easy. After watching the video on Primal RC, I do know that it is best to put a little bit of grease onto some of these metal to metal connections and obviously onto these metal slider shafts. This is track power, it's gear grease, but it basically works for everything. You could use any other grease that you have. The brakes themselves are extremely beautiful, although sometimes when you're confronted with a donut like this, I mean, it is a hard decision. Should I eat the donut right now or install the brakes? What do you guys think? Let me know. The brake assembly itself is fully built. All it basically is a caliper style design, just like you would have in any car. The brake cable is going to be attached over here. We're going to do this in a later step, and all that's going to happen is the caliper is going to squeeze the rotor in and out, and that's basically how it works. The system is extremely substantial. I could see it is ball bearing supported right over here. So when the mechanism is moving in and out like this, right? Do you guys see how smooth this engagement is? It is really solid. There is no brake lining material on the inside, but you will be able to get replacement brake rotors, and I'm pretty sure all of these parts will be available if they are not already available from Primal RC. First thing you have to do is remove this axle pin and slide the brake rotor on top of it. I've slid the brake rotor on top of the drive shaft. It is indexed that basically it goes in anyway. It's the same from front to rear. It doesn't matter which way you put it on. So it's keyed to the drive shaft design itself with this kind of rectangular shape, which is pretty typical of how the brake systems work. I'm gonna apply a little grease to the shaft. Here we go. At this point, I'm just gonna put this in with some thread lock and it'll be good to go. When you're assembling this, it really is to your benefit to have the disc rotor all the way next to the axle. It gives you a lot of clearance to put this pin in. Also, when it's fully done, you have to be able to slide the disc rotor, evenly over this. There will be a little bit of play, but that's normal. Mounting the caliper itself is extremely simple. There's only 2 screws, just like you would have in a real car. Here. You attach it like this, and you're basically good to go. All we'll have to do to make the brakes operational is later on, we're gonna install the brake cable. It's gonna go like this, in and out. There's gonna be a spring. Simple. The rear brakes are fully installed. It's perfect. Look at that, how smooth it is. I could easily spin this giant drive shaft with my hand. It's perfect. You can adjust it a little bit here with these screws and also obviously the actual brake engagement itself. At this point, all I have to do is attach the 4 links right over here to the locations already provided on the axle. All the hardware is already here. You just got to put thread lock on this upper piece. This threads into an aluminum component. On the bottom, you just have a nylon lock washer, which is pretty nice. And we just got to slide the drive shaft into here, add some grease, and then we could install the shocks. All the components for installing everything are already on the chassis. Just such a terrific design. The axle is greased up. I'm going to slide it into the drive shaft and connect the rest of the components. It's beginning to come together. On the rear axle here, there are 3 things you have to attach. The shock is going to go over here. This link is going to go on this really large bottom bolt on the bottom. It has a nylon lock nut, so it's good. This upper link is going to go on the inside. This is going to make our 4-link suspension. At this point, the only thing left to do on the rear axle here, other than routing the brake lines, of course, and the sway bar links, are the shocks. All the hardware, as I said, is already pre-attached. All we're going to do is remove this lock nut on top, and we're going to do the same thing to the bottom, and pretty much our rear is completely assembled. All I'm going to do now, do the same to the front. Look at the dampening. It is just insane. The stroke of the shock, oh man. Look at that. Look at that axle articulation. Sometimes when you're working on an RC, you'll notice that something is designed just so well. There's a reason to it, and I've come to that point right here, and that is in these links. These links are connected to the rear suspension mechanism here. Notice how they have a tendency to pivot a little bit. Now, this rear axle on the front axle is going to have a lot of suspension movement. This is a 4-link suspension system. Notice these washers. They are tapered both on the inside and the outside. This tapering design is is crucial. If it wasn't constructed this way, you would not have this range of motion from the suspension arm. The same thing could be said about the lower links and the links in the front. Once again, this is just a design that only a person building a truck like this would do. This is the ultimate bucket list of an RC truck right here, and you're looking at it. At this point, I've assembled the entire suspension front and rear. The drive shafts are in. The brakes themselves are in. They just need to be connected to the brake cable and to the top of this actual servo right over here. This is our brake servo. In this state, I think if you appreciate RC, you can fully appreciate this. I mean, the design on this is impeccable. I said before that it was hard to find any plastic parts on this. The only ones I found are just the basic body connectors, which you want them to be plastic, right? Because they're really not that big of a deal. The main chassis itself is a very intricate design. So I first thought this was one solid piece of aluminum, but in fact it isn't. This red piece right over here, you could tell on the inside, connects both of these silver pieces. Right here behind the cover, we have the gears. This is going to be something we'll look at in the future video. The sway bars themselves, not just basic bars going up and down here, are the sway bars. They are actually adjustable. So if you slide this mechanism back a little bit on this metal link, you will create more firmness. Now in a future video, obviously when I get this up and running, I'm going to see how good the axle articulation is without them. I don't think anyone on YouTube so far has disconnected the sway bars. We're all using the standard position, which is basically vertical up and down with the shock itself. The serial number build on this car is 32. That means this was the 32nd one to ever come off of the assembly line. I'm honestly interested to see who has the couple of the first few ones. I think number 1, 2, and 3 were the ones that are at Primal RC headquarters right now. The first one was probably the prototype, and the other two are the ones for the store themselves. So if you have some of the early models or any of them at all, congratulations. We have ourselves a piece of history. This is like the VIN number to a Primal MT. As we look at the chassis, notice that the whole upper portion is connected with 5 aluminum rods linking the left and right side of the chassis. They also have, very interesting right over here, it says 198 millimeters. That means this span is 198, the next one is 198. This one in the middle is unique. It says 224. Once again, this is one of those interesting design features that, you know, only a pure RC specialist would really care to think about. The rest of these are also 198. Just one of those touches I wanted to make sure that none of us miss. Right now, this is pretty much the chassis of the car. It is fully built. I just have to assemble the brake system, do a little bit of finishing touches here. Why don't we go to the nice Japanese buffet, take the edge off of building this RC, read a little bit about the new RC Car Action magazine, have some sushi, have a good time. Don't worry, there will be a part 2 on the build process. I will make sure to show you guys exactly how it's done. That way, you could all know what you're in store for when you get yourself one of these. Okay guys, I had a full day of assembling the Primal MT. I'm gonna hang out at this Japanese buffet right here, right? Get some protein in me. Gonna read this new Car Action magazine. Let's go. Time to get some sushi. Hope I got what it takes. I mean, hope my stomach has what it takes. Shrimp crunch roll, guys, there we go. Shrimp tempura roll. Of course, the classic California roll. I'm gonna do the real American thing at a buffet. I'm gonna pile on some Chinese food along right with my sushi. I think this right here is as good as it gets. We got some food, right? We got some RC Action magazine. Oh, look at that, the new Arma Infraction. Let's see what we got here. Some nice literature. I bet there's no gas RCs, but I'm gonna read this and see if there are. You see this, guys? I know how to use chopsticks. It's no joke. Oh yeah. Get those vegetables in too. While you're chewing, make sure you're thinking about RC cars at all times. I want to make a toast to my Primal MT. This goes out for you. Hopefully we're going to get you started and running real soon. First thing I'm going to do, other than pull-ups, is I'm going to lay down and drive right over myself.